The following is a presentation of IMG, America's home for college sports. Live from Quaker Steak and Lube on US 1 in Edison, this is the Chris Ash Show, your chance to talk with the head coach of the Scarlet Knights on the Rutgers IMG Sports Network. Today's show is brought to you by To be a part of the show, give us a buzz on the Nissan call-in line at 877-384-1869. That's 877-384-1869. Now, let's go live to Quaker Steak and Lube in Edison to talk Rutgers football.
And welcome to our final edition of the Chris Ash Show. We are live, as always, here at Quaker Steak and Lube on Route 1 in Edison, New Jersey, as the Scarlet Knights prepare for senior night. This coming Saturday night, they host the Penn State Nittany Lions at High Point Solution Stadium with 2 games left in the 2016 season. Chris Carlin alongside Eric LeGrande. Good to see you as always.
Yeah, good to see you too, Chris. How are you?
I'm great. And the coach of the Scarlet Knights is Chris Ash. How we doing?
Great. Glad to have you back.
Good to be back. Good to be back.
Took a week off.
I wouldn't say that, but but good to be with you, Coach. So let's get into it. You know, thoughts coming out of this past weekend, how the teams responded here these past few days following the Michigan State game.
Well, obviously, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but disappointed with last Saturday. I thought we were getting better and being competitive and giving ourselves a chance to win late in the fourth quarter in the last couple games. Thought we had good preparation going into Michigan State. Obviously, that's still a very good football team. I know everybody says, well, they were 2-7, but you look offensively, they got 8 senior starters on offense. A lot of guys that played on that national semifinal team that won the Big Ten last year. So for whatever reason, it just hadn't worked out the way they wanted it to. So we knew we were going to go play a very good opponent. And if it was all put together, it was going to be a pretty good challenge. And that's what happened. Disappointed in how we played in certain phases of the game, but we're continuing to grind. The players have continued to show up, and the one thing we talked about this week is, hey, here's a situation. This is what we're in. We need to all be pros about what we're doing here, and stay together, stay focused, and keep trying to be the best that we can be. That's what they've done.
And Coach, we were just talking about how we keeping it real with the guys. The record is what it is, and you have Mohamed Sanu come out to practice today and got to talk to the guys. Can you tell a little bit about how he got to talk to the guys and try to amp them up a little bit?
Yeah, he came out to practice today. He had some free time this week and came out to practice. Love having him around. Obviously, he's a guy that loves Rutgers and Rutgers football, and a great player that came through here and obviously doing great in the NFL. But I love having him around just to talk about his time here and what it's like in the NFL and him as a receiver. Called the group up after we got done with stretch like we normally do to go through the practice phase and talk about some of the points in practice. And then I called him over. He was on the sideline, called him over and asked him if he would say a few words. And I like keeping it real with the team, and he kept it real today. And just kind of gave our team his impressions on what he sees on Saturdays and what they need to do as players to be able to continue to stay focused and grind and practice with a purpose, and really loved his message. It was a great message, and always fun to have him around.
And when you talk about grinders and a guy that produced a lot, he was both of those things here. For you to be able to have somebody like that speak to the team, and you've had several of the players who have gone on to the NFL do that, just what does it mean for you as a coach to be able to put somebody like that in front of them?
It's everything, because the players expect to hear certain things from us. When we talk about you got to go hard, you got to stay focused, you got to make good decisions, you got to do things for your teammate. They expect coaches to say all those things. But when they hear it from another player that they know and can relate with, that walked in their shoes here at Rutgers and is being successful at the next level, it means a little bit more. It's more impactful, and they're like, wow, he's saying that. And sometimes I think we set him up, to say certain things, but I didn't ask him to say anything. I just said, hey, do you want to say a few words? He said, absolutely, and it was a great message. It actually reinforced a lot of things that we've been talking about.
Have you seen any, this is some of the last time the seniors are going to get to play in High Point Solution Stadium. Have you seen any of the seniors kind of realizing, it's coming down to an end and just embracing it a little bit more?
I think we've got an outstanding senior class. Love these guys. They've been unbelievable in the year that we've been together, and our focus is to go out and try to give them a great opportunity to end their home career here at High Point Solution Stadium Saturday night on a positive note. And I hear them talking about, how it's amazing how fast it's gone. It's unreal that it's almost over, and they want to really go out together on a positive note. So, it's starting to hit them, and I think they realize what's coming up.
Our telephone number, Nissan call-in line, is 877-384-1869. That's 877-384-1869. You can also tweet us your questions for Coach Ash at Rutgers Radio. And if you're here in attendance, by all means, come on up front. See our man Jimmy right over here, and we will get you on as a guest to ask the coach your question if you're in attendance here at Quaker Steak and Lube. So you touched on it there briefly, but you look through some of the guys that are going to play their final home game this week. And, with the seniors, these are guys that did not sign up for Chris Ash. They didn't know what they were going to be getting in their final year. So, with guys like Darius, with guys like JPO, just describe for you what they have meant in helping to communicate to the players what the bigger picture is going to be for them.
The thing I'll tell you first about them, when we lost it a couple weeks ago, and we were finally out of contention for postseason play. The seniors especially can make a choice of going one of two directions. They can continue to fight to leave a legacy, to make the place the best it can be and help build the foundation for the future, or they can say, I'm done. I'm going to focus on what's next. Every one of these seniors has stayed locked in, stayed focused, and are trying to leave their legacy and help us build the foundation for the future. And I can't thank them enough for that. But the buy-in that they had from us all the way back to last January when we first got here, it didn't obviously go really fast. It wasn't easy at the start. But once they found out that we wanted what they wanted, and that's to build a great program, has a chance to win, and we wanted both things, they bought in really fast, and they saw the changes that we were making, and they could tell that they were improving their bodies and hopefully getting better. And they just kept reinforcing the message that we were saying to the team in the locker room, and it's you can't thank those guys enough for being that voice in the locker room and helping us build this foundation for hopefully future success.
And what is that like as your coach and coaching staff coming in, and you have seniors of the program, developing a relationship with them to buy into what you're doing? Can you tell us a little bit about how that works?
Yeah, it's not my first time I've done that. I've been on new staffs and new places before, and so I've had to do that in previous stops. It's not easy because, like Chris said, they're all recruited by other people. They come from different reasons. Their goals and yours may be different. Your coaching style and philosophy may be different than what they want, and so it's not easy. But at the end of the day, if you can peel back the layers and build a relationship based on trust and show them that you care and that what you really want is what they want, and that's for them to be successful, because that's what makes us successful. I think they start to trust you a lot sooner and buy into you before they're going to buy into your vision and your plan of the program.
All right, let's hit our call-in line. Nissan call-in line, once again, 877-384-1869. We begin tonight with Joe in New Brunswick. Joe, you're on the Chris Ash Show.
Hey, Coach, I have a question for you. I know you were new in the spring when you came on board, but do you plan on reinstating the historic spring awards that we've had at Rutgers for many years next year?
I'll be honest with you, I haven't really thought about that. We're so focused right now just trying to get ready for this Penn State game and finish the season the right way. And when we do that, we'll go back and reevaluate the whole year of things that we did, things we liked, things we didn't do, and we'll have those discussions. But I couldn't sit here and tell you right now today that, yes, in fact, they would come back or they wouldn't.
Well, it's interesting, the evaluation process as a coach. I don't know that people get a full handle on how that goes, because you've got a little bit of time to do it each week, evaluate what you did the week before, but then the bigger picture. When does that start to kind of come into focus for you guys when you can look at everything in that first year that you've done?
Well, before every season starts, we'll lay out a yearly calendar from August to like for now, August 2016 to August 2017, we've got a calendar all laid out. As we go through the season, I take notes each week on things that are good, things that are bad, things that we have to talk about when the season's over. So I have a running list of things already that we need to discuss, or that are big picture things, from player development to practices to food to recruiting, motivation. things that maybe we do travel-wise, but I have a running list that we will sit down and thoroughly have conversation with here when the season is over. Once we get through recruiting, we got 2 weeks of recruiting in December that we'll get through, and then unfortunately, with us not being a postseason play, we'll have some extra time. But honestly, it's good because what it does, it gives us more time to develop our players, gives us more time to go back through and review and evaluate this last year and talk about our plans moving forward.
And can you talk about keeping the players focused, at least for these last 2 weeks, asking them each and every day to play for those seniors and go out with a bang for them and not give up on them?
Yeah, we've done that. If they really respect and trust and admire those guys, they'll stay focused and they'll give everything they've got for those seniors. And, that's what every coach and every team does at this time of year. You want to motivate your team you motivate your team a lot of different ways, but you hope at the end of the year, because of the relationships they have with those seniors, that they will go out and give everything they've got for those guys, because there's going to be a time they're in the front row of that team meeting room, and they're going to want people in the back to do that for them.
Once again, our call-in number, Nissan call-in line is 877-384-1869. We've got a couple of questions here on Twitter. Wanted to get to Coach Dr. Mark Rubenstein, who's been a longtime supporter of the program. Coach, what do you say to the fans who are a little bit frustrated about the future of the program right now?
I don't know about being frustrated about the future. I'm frustrated
I worded that wrong. The fans who are frustrated right now about the future coming and what your plans are moving forward to improve the program.
Well, there's a lot of plans in place. I mean, our goals are not going to change. The vision I have for the program is not going to change. I think if you went back and looked at the press conference that I had when I first got here, I said it's going to take a lot of time and effort. It's not going to be easy. There's going to be good days, there's going to be bad days, but it's going to take a lot of time to build the program the way that I feel that it needs to be a competitive football team in this league. But with where we're at right now at 2-8, I'm not going to change our plan. I'm not going to change our vision. We'll go back and evaluate things within the plan that we may need to adjust based on what we have right now personnel-wise and what we need to do to develop certain individuals more. Now that we know our players better. But overall, the program, the way it's going to be built from last January when we started to whatever is not necessarily going to change, because there's a certain plan that we think is infallible and it's going to work, and our vision for what we want to build will not change. And I get it. The fans are frustrated. I'm frustrated, but again, it is what it is, and we're grinding every day. We know where we're at. We know where we want to be, and we got a good plan to try to get there. But it's going to take some time.
And I have kind of a question that brings you back to when you actually first started. When you first come in and take your job, what is it like when you first meet these kids? You hear a little bit about them, but you've had to do it at, different places, coming in Wisconsin, Arkansas, and now Rutgers, What is that like when you first get there and you got to, see these new faces in front of you and they're all just staring at you kind of like, where are we going with this?
Yeah, first impressions go a long way, and as a coach, when you stand before a team for the first time, you want to make sure there's a good first impression. And again, it's not about selling them on a plan or a vision. It's trying to get them to be sold on you and your values and what you believe in and how you're going to help them be successful. Because what the players want, all players want this. They want a player that they know cares about them. They want a player that they know they can trust. They want they want a coach they know they can trust. They want a coach that they know can get them better as football players. That's what all players want. That's really where the conversation starts. How we're going to show that we care about them, how we're going to build that relationship on trust, and how we're going to go about making them become the best football player that they can become. And then it's about the plan and the vision, all that stuff with the program. But that first meeting is so important that you get off on the right foot. They have a good first impression about you and how you're going to care for them and take care of them. And I thought we had a great first meeting when we first took over. Our first meeting was actually in December. Mm-hmm. When I first got hired and had the press conference the morning before that was the first opportunity to meet the team. I thought we had about a 30-minute meeting. I thought it was very good. And then we had another one in January when all the players got back from Christmas break. That was really the first time the full staff was together when we had our second meeting. But it is really important to get off on the right foot.
Once again, our Nissan call-in line, 877-384-1869. We've got a couple of calls up. We will take them in just a moment. Right now, we'll take our first time out of the night as we are at Quaker Steak and Lube on Route 1 in Edison, New Jersey. Final edition for 2016 of the Chris Ash Show. Stay with us. We're back with more in a moment.
Need a place to watch all the pro games? Look no further than Quaker Steak and Lube, Best Wings USA on Route 1 in Edison. 50 TVs, great game day specials starting at just $2, and the best wings in the USA with over 25 different wing sauces. Enjoy our outdoor patio and bar that's open all year round, even in the winter. Give us a call, 732-777-WING. We cater events of any size, dining in or to go. Quaker Steak and Lube, 561 Route 1 in Edison, 732-777-WING.
Hi, Rutgers fans. Chris Carlin here for UPS. Your customers want more from your business, and you've got to make more happen, whether they're in Piscataway or on the other side of the world. Globally or locally, UPS is building solutions to help businesses give their customers exactly what they want. More made easy. UPS, official logistics company of Rutgers Athletics.
The Chris Ash Show returns after this local timeout. This is the Rutgers IMG Sports Network.
Introducing the Rutgers Fan Exchange, powered by Tick City. Can't make it to a game and don't know what to do with your tickets? Looking for the best deals on the biggest games? Buy and sell tickets for all Rutgers home games through the Rutgers Fan Exchange, the only place to find seats from within the trusted Rutgers community. And you control the price. Every order helps support Rutgers athletics. Visit the Rutgers Fan Exchange at rutgersfanexchange.com. Looking for a place to watch all the Rutgers football action? Enjoy the games with fellow Scarlet Knights fans at these Rutgers Athletics official watch party locations: Hoboken's Cadillac Cantina, Tom's Rivers Baker's Water Street Bar and Grill, Freehold's Moore's Tavern and Sports Bar, Monroe Township's Baker's American Bar and Grill, and Quaker Steak and Lube's 3 locations in Edison, Brick, and Phillipsburg. For more information on the official watch party locations, please visit scarletknights.com.
Welcome back to the Chris Ash Show. Got a question for Coach? Dial us up on the Nissan call-in line at 877-384-1869. That's 877-384-1869. Nissan, proud partner of college athletics. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Innovation that excites.
Rutgers is committed to building championship contenders in the Big Ten, and this commitment means the university must build premier training facilities for elite student athletes from New Jersey, the nation, and around the globe. To achieve this, Rutgers Athletics is embarking on the Our Big Ten Build campaign to raise $100 million for new and upgraded athletic facilities. Be all in and join our campaign today by visiting RutgersBig10Build.com. We have returned on the Chris Ash Show here at Quaker Steak and Lube on Route 1 in Edison. Chris Carlin, Eric LeGrand, along with the coach, Chris Ash. Our Nissan call-in line, once again, 877-384-1869. Let's get to a couple of our calls. Charlie in Woodbridge, he is up first. Charlie, how are things going, man?
Hey, guys, how are you?
Great.
Coach Ash, I just wanted to, you probably know this, but I want to see what your response would be. The Coach Franklin of Penn State that said this week he wants all Penn State fans to invade Rutgers, High Point Solution Stadium Saturday night.
What's my response? Yeah, I mean, I don't know what he's done. I mean, I'm focused on trying to get our team prepared for a game, so I don't follow Coach Franklin and what they do. I'm worried about our players and our game plan. So, if he wants to plead for his people to come to the game, that's fine with me. We're going to have plenty of fans there too, and we're worried about our team, our players, and not anybody else.
All right, Charlie, appreciate you checking in. I plan on seeing more red Saturday anyway. Sir, what's your name? Where are you from?
Jim from North Brunswick.
Good to see you again, Jim. How are you, man?
Good. Hey, Coach, how are you?
I'm great.
Coach, we had this Saturday circled on our calendars back at the beginning of the year. Do you feel that your team is any more amped up because of who the opponent is or because it's senior day? Do you feel that your team is has more energy going into this game just because of who it is and because it's senior day?
No, not necessarily. I think we have had a lot of energy going into every game. I think if there's more energy right now for our team, it is about our seniors. That's what this game is about. We need to go out and play a better football game. We need to go out and give our seniors that have given a lot to this program and to this university and to these fans an opportunity to finish their career on a high note. That's what our focus is. That's our conversation, and that's what we're trying to do.
I can tell you that the fans are amped up for this game for you.
Great. I hope they spend all day tailgating and get nice and loud and wild Saturday night.
And they've got a great way to start early with the battle at the birthplace at 11 a.m. with Rutgers taking on Princeton in wrestling as well outside. That should be an incredible atmosphere.
I might show up for that one. I love wrestling.
I'll tell you what, and how awesome is it?
Scott's done an unbelievable job, man.
He really has.
His program is a tremendous inspiration to myself, our staff, and our program, and I've followed what he's done here and tracked what he's done here. He's done an amazing job with him and his program, and what that wrestling match will do Saturday will be awesome there in the stadium.
Did you used to wrestle back in the day, Coach? You're from Iowa. I know that's how you guys get down out there.
No, I didn't. I couldn't find anyone to want to wrestle me.
Let's check in with Ed in New Brunswick. He is up next. Ed, you're on the Chris Ash Show.
Hey, how's it going, Chris? I'm a longtime fan, student here currently. I just wanted to know, when you first arrived at Rutgers, what really stood out to you? When you talk to recruits, really, what is specifically unique to Rutgers and no other school that you try to talk to them about?
There's several things, and the reason I came here. I talked to recruits about why I chose to come to Rutgers, and one, we play in the best conference in America. Two, I think we're in a great state for recruiting. We have tremendous high school programs and high school players here in the state of New Jersey and the surrounding states. And whenever you're a coach in a program like that, if you can get in your car and recruit, you feel like you have a chance to build a pretty good program. We're in the nation's largest media market. I think we're in an area that is hungry and starving for big-time college football on a big stage. And, we got new administration. Pat Hobbs is a tremendous athletic director. And the fact that I was walking in the door with a new athletic director that wanted to support the program and give us everything we needed it to have to be successful, those were all exciting selling points for me, and they're the same things for the recruits. And you can put all those things together, and you can also tell the recruits you can get a great education, and you can do it in front of your family and friends right here locally. Why not go to Rutgers?
All right, thank you very much. I can also assure you I'm amped up for Saturday as well.
Awesome.
Love it. We got another one. Ken is out in Yardley, Pennsylvania. Ken, what's going on? You're on the Chris Ash Show.
Coach, everybody talks about the postseason being critical to a team's development as you get 10 to 15 extra practices. What are some of the things that you can do to offset the negative effects of not having that extra practice time?
Yeah.
And then secondly,
go ahead.
When can I get a Chris Ash bobblehead doll?
I don't think they're going to make those until we win some games. So might hopefully next year. But to answer your first question, postseason play and going to a bowl game, it does really help in the development of your younger players because of the extra practice time. So you do miss out on those. What we're doing right now to try to combat that is we're doing more developmental segments at the end of our practices right now. On Sundays and Wednesdays, we're doing developmental work with our players after practice. So we're trying to make up for some of the lost time that we would typically have if you went to a bowl game. And I look at it this: we're not going to bowl game. Okay, good. It's more time for our younger guys to be in the weight room and lifting and developing and getting bigger and stronger that we need to get. And they'll be able to do that in December before they go home for Christmas break. We'll send them home with workouts, and they'll have to report to Coach Parker and his staff regularly on their lifting and how they're doing with that. But it gives us more time to develop them physically. But the practice part of it we're doing right now to try to make up for it.
And that's what I wanted to ask you too, Coach. How hard is it coming up with the plan for those lifting schedules when you have to work around the finals of some of these young guys and things like that before they all get on the road? Because one guy could be done, early with his finals, and some guy can go all the way almost up to Christmas.
Yeah, well, you're exactly right there with the players finishing up their finals at different times. We are going to keep all players here to a certain date, just because they may finish on the 21st of December. doesn't mean they're necessarily going to go home, especially if it's someone that's got injury and rehabs and treatments that they need to have to recover from the season or surgeries or whatever. So we'll keep everybody here to a certain date and make sure that everybody's lifting and training and getting the proper treatment and rehab that they may need based on their body.
Coach, we mentioned Senior Day. I want to ask you individually about a few guys and guys that you know have meant an awful lot to the program, and just get your overall thoughts, your experience with some of these individuals who have made a huge impact. And I want to start with the two guys on the defensive line with Darius Hamilton and Julian Penix-Odrick. Yeah,
I love both those guys. They're mature. That we ask our players right now, we're asking them to be like pros. Those guys are like pros. They make good decisions. They take care of their bodies. They do well in school. They show up to practice every day and go extremely hard in practice to be the best that they can be. We talk about the hunt and all that is about their attitude, their effort, putting in extra time. They live it. They do it all the time. And I can't say enough good things about those two guys. Wish I had them for more time.
Eric, you have guys like that, and you know the impact they can make as a player.
Absolutely. Those when you buy all the way into a program and you do exactly what the coaches want, and just getting in with the program, but also your team buying in. As you see, you don't always have to lead by being loud and everything. You lead by example, people will follow you. And actually, we want to ask you about another guy, how you had to get him to buy into the program, and now also, how he developed this year. Now is Anthony Shafi.
Yeah, Anthony is another one. I love Anthony. It took a little bit longer to get him to buy in. If you know Anthony, you'll know what I mean.
Yep.
Anthony, he likes to do his own thing at times, but and that's great. And we let Anthony do that at times. But once he it talks about that relationship built on trust. We needed to earn his trust. He needed to earn ours. And once he found out that we were here to try to help him be the best that he could be, and there were certain things that we needed to change in his habits to get there, he bought in, and I think he developed himself, and I think he's had a really good year too.
A couple of others offensively that don't necessarily get talked about as much as they should. And the first one there for me would be Nick Arcidiacono as one of your tight ends. It seems like he's a guy that rarely does anything wrong.
Well, yeah, you don't talk about him a lot, and that sometimes that's a good thing because he just goes about doing his job. There's nothing fancy, nothing flashy. It's not like he's going down the field and catching touchdown passes every other play, but I'll tell you what he's doing. He's blocking extremely hard, doing everything he can to try to help us have a run game, and he's throwing his body around in there. He practices consistently all the time, and he's just Mr. Steady. He just goes about his business quietly. It's like Eric said, he's not necessarily a vocal leader, but he's a leader by example, and you can't have enough of those guys either.
I was going to say, you talk about the offensive line, you don't hear much about them unless they're getting in trouble. That's when you hear about the offensive line.
Give up sacks.
Exactly, give up sacks so you're not able to run well. That's when you hear about offensive line. Can you talk about your seniors on the offensive line, how you had to, work with them sometimes, give them tough love, take them out, get them back in there, talking to them, things like that.
Yeah, right now we've got a couple seniors up front that are playing and doing an outstanding job for us, and those guys have really worked extremely hard. Chris Moeller and Derek Nelson, they're on the inside. Those guys have played side by side and played a lot of football together. And they're like Darius and JPO. They're pros at what they do. They just show up. They work extremely hard, and they want to be the best that they can be. Unfortunately, Chris Moeller, this last season, last year has been cut short with complete football development because of the injury that he had suffered last season, and he was walking around on crutches and in a boot for a long time in the off season, missed spring practice. But he just really worked hard this summer to get himself where he's at right now, and I wish we had him for more time also.
We're going to get back to some of these other seniors in just a little bit. Have another question from a gentleman here in attendance at Quaker Steak and Lube in Edison. Sir, what's your name? Where are you from?
I'm John in the Tewksbury. Coach, when the season started, everybody had a stripe on their helmet.
Yep.
How many people still have a stripe on their helmet, meaning that they're not kind of ready to play football yet, in certain words? And does the red tag still have a stripe on his helmet?
Who's that? The
red tag, Hayden.
Oh,
does he still have a stripe on his helmet?
He does. Yeah, he does. We have a lot of players that have stripes on their helmets, a whole bunch of them, and they could be on there for a while. And as we go through practice right now, we go through the season, we have a lot of players that we still evaluate. We talk about possibly removing their stripes, but they're not ready yet, and it's a lot of players that aren't playing on game day, to be honest with you.
All right, second question, guess estimate. How many years do the Rutgers people have to live with knowing a 78-point spread is the biggest spread in the Big Ten Conference? How many years do you think we're going to have to live with that stigma on our back of 78 points, the biggest spread in Big Ten history?
I don't know. I mean, we got a lot of work to do. And I'm not going to sit here and make any predictions. I never have done that when I came here. Never said we were going to win a number of games. Never said we couldn't win games. Never said, hey, by year 2, year 3, year 4, we're going to be competing for this championship, this bowl game. We're going to be beating these teams. We have a plan. It's going to take some time. There will be better days than there are right now today for Rutgers fans to show up at High Point Solution Stadium and cheer and enjoy the product that's out there. Unfortunately, today right now isn't that day. Hopefully Saturday night it is. But I'm not going to sit here and make a prediction. I know this will be better every day that we move forward when next year and the year after, but I can't make a prediction on anything.
I think it's interesting, you think back, and it wasn't all that long ago that Rutgers was going through a similar process, and I think if you asked any Rutgers fan, was it worth it in the end with everything that you had to go through, I don't think there's any question what they would say, especially considering what we just celebrated, the 10th anniversary of that 2006 season. And, hey, these things take some time, but it is built on that right foundation. That's important to you. There's not shortcuts involved.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the history of college football. Go around and look at some of the great programs right now that we would consider great, and look at how they were built. I was just talking to someone the other day. Iowa just beat Michigan. And Iowa's got a very solid program. Go back and look at Kirk Ferentz's first 3 years. Mm-hmm. Nobody remembers Kirk's first year. Kirk was 1-11. Nobody remembers his second year. He was 3-9. I was in Iowa when that was happening. Yep. Everyone wanted Kirk ran out of town. How many people love Kirk right now? Yep. A whole bunch of them. Yep. And it's 18 years later he's there. But I could give you more and more. I just actually saw an article today about Mike McIntyre, Colorado. Sure. The headline on ESPN, the turnaround in Colorado is stunning. Look at what happened in his first 3 years. They were, I think, like 2-24 in the Pac-12. For the first 3 years it was. I could go on and on and on and on about a whole bunch of them. That's where we're at. That's what I was hired to do. To turn around a program, to build a program the way we wanted it, and that's what we're here to do.
And of course, you're going to have your fans that, of course, they want everything right now, but don't understand the process of that. But can you explain how important it is to keep the people on the inside that are working hard with you each and every day to keep them motivated to believing in the process?
Oh, it's a lot easier to do that to the people on the inside because they know what's actually going on.
Yep.
When you're 2-8, people on the outside assume they know what's happening on the inside, yep. and they don't necessarily. And that's fine. That's part of it. I've been a fan. I do the same thing. I look at someone, things can't be great there. Look at their record, and that's not necessarily the story. But the people on the inside are very motivated. They know what we're going through. They know what we've done. They know myself and the plan and all the people that we have in place and what we're doing. So on the inside, it's a lot easier than the people on the outside.
Well, we'll get back to the matchup this week with Penn State in just a few moments. Talk a little bit more about some of the seniors who will be playing their final home game at High Point Solution Stadium this Saturday night. We're at Quaker Steak and Lube on Route 1 in Edison. We'll take a quick time out as we continue with the Chris Ash Show.
Need a place to watch all the pro games? Look no further than Quaker Steak and Lube, Best Wings USA on Route 1 in Edison. 50 TVs, great game day specials starting at just $2, and the best wings in the USA with over 25 different wing sauces. Enjoy our outdoor patio and bar that's open all year round, even in the winter. Give us a call, 732-777-WING. We cater events of any size, dining in or to go. Quaker Steak and Lube, 561 Route 1 in Edison, 732-777-WING.
We have a new player on the field, and he's ready for kickoff with a delicious ice-cold Coca-Cola. And the kick. Ice giving him a little trouble as a few cubes shake loose. He's probably going to pour it here, and he does. The glass is full. Can he go all the way? He did it! Oh, wow! And just listen to that fizz! That might have been the most refreshing thing that I've ever seen. Whew. Coca-Cola. Taste the feeling.
The Chris Ash Show returns after this local timeout. This is the Rutgers IMG Sports Network.
We live in an exciting time for medicine. Breakthroughs happen every day. The higher we raise the bar, the more we push ourselves to jump over it. Welcome to RWJ Barnabas Health. From clinical trials that are making cancer a thing of the past, to mapping the brain and seeing the future of neuroscience. From the latest in heart transplants to planting community gardens, we're enhancing the health and wellness of the millions of people we serve. With more than 41,000 medical professionals, 11 acute care hospitals, 4 children's hospitals, dedicated researchers, and partnerships with medical schools, we're delivering better health together to New Jersey, to Bayonne in Atlantic City, Livingston, Edison and Princeton, urban farms in Newark, family fitness trails at the Jersey Shore, and especially to you. Join us, and working together, your life will be healthier too. RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together. Visit rwjbhinfo.org.
Welcome back to the Chris Ash Show. Got a question for Coach? Dial us up on the Nissan call-in line at 877-384-1869. That's 877-384-1869. Nissan, proud partner of college athletics. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Innovation that excites.
Bolero is the newest Epic Entertainment Center, now open in North Brunswick. Enjoy traditional and blacklight bowling on over 80 lanes, play games of Bolero's interactive arcade, or join the adventure in their state-of-the-art laser tag arena. Perfect for first dates, private parties, and unforgettable weekend fun. Bolero, now open. Visit today at 1 Carolier Lane off Route 1, just 5 minutes from College Avenue, or online at bolero.com. Chris Carlin, Eric LeGrand, and the coach, Chris Ash. Rutgers preparing for the Penn State Nittany Lions this coming Saturday night, 8 p.m. at High Point Solution Stadium. Game will be on BTN, and the night atmosphere, we have seen what that's been like before at the stadium, Coach, on several occasions. And just your impressions this year of the fan support that you have gotten at the home games, and just how important that really becomes as far as a big factor in a game like this.
Yeah, fan support is everything. It creates energy in the stadium. That we've had some outstanding fan support, and I get it. I'm a realist. I understand that the better product you have on the field, the more excited fans are going to be. I understand that, and it's our job to put a football team out there that everybody's excited about and wants to get juiced up about going to watch every Saturday. But I've been very pleased with our fans. I'm excited about our fans, and our student sections have been awesome through most of the season. So hopefully we can continue to build on that as we move forward.
And rivalry. This is a game that fans look at as a rivalry for them. I'm wondering if that's something that you take a look at, and your overall feeling about rivalry games, how much you would address them with the team.
Yeah. I mean, this is my first time going through a Rutgers-Penn State game, but I can feel that this is one that a lot of people want. A lot of fans feel that way, and I've been told that since we came here. So I understand that, and it is important for us to have rivals. We want rivals, and the way you build a rivalry, though, is you got to beat them. Also, and that's what we need to do, and it'll obviously help intensify rivalries against certain teams.
And I was going to ask you, Coach, you've been a part of some of the biggest rivalries out there, and just all the sports. Ohio State, Michigan. That's a huge rivalry. Can you talk a little bit what that's like, I guess, as a coaching staff, too? I know you get focused. You want your game plan, too, just going, stick to the grind. But is there any extra juices in there?
Yeah, I mean, that one's a little bit different because it's been going on for years.
Yeah.
And it's the last game of the season. It's a national rivalry, so it's a little bit different. But there's a lot of things that surround rivalry games. The really important thing as a coach, though, is you focus on your process of getting your team prepared. You can't get caught up in all that stuff. And, around that particular game, there's a lot of stuff you could get caught up into if you let yourself. And you just have to stay focused on, your preparation, your game plan, and your practices. Because when you get to the game, the energy will take care of itself. You don't really need a lot of extra pep talks and motivational speeches to get your players riled up for a big-time rival game.
We'll go back to Twitter to check in on a question. You can tweet us your questions at Rutgers Radio. And once again, our Nissan call-in line is 877-384-1869, 877-384-1869. This is from Kevin on Twitter. Coach, Indiana did a good job in limiting Saquon Barkley. How do you plan on trying to stop this young man, on trying to do the same thing?
Well, it started. I petitioned the NCAA to see if we play with 15 players, and they said we could. So that's where it'll start. But Saquon Barkley is a great player, and we played against him last year when I was at Ohio State, and he was an outstanding running back last year. I watched what he's doing this year. He's made some very impressive runs. I think what you have to do, you have to have gap integrity. You have to make sure you can leverage the ball on the outside, and he can't get on the outside because he's got really good speed. You have to have tremendous pursuit, and you got to do a great job of gang tackling if you're going to be able to limit the yards that a running back like this has.
And I want to talk about during the week now, try to simulate that with the scouting. I know it's hard. You get those certain players that, they're just, really good at, don't come around too often, but trying to simulate that in a week, how hard is that, to pick up a guy and say, all right, you're going to be this guy for the weekend. I need you to do this, and that. Yeah,
we actually have a lot of conversations about that. Who are going to be the guys on the look team to simulate the opponent's, top playmakers. And, this one's a tough one to simulate, without a doubt. But, we got to do a great job up front, as always. But this one's a little bit different. This one's more about discipline up front, as well as being, physical and tough and all those things that usually go into, controlling the line of scrimmage. This is about discipline and holding your edge and make sure you keep the guy contained because a lot of his big plays come on the outside when he runs around the edge.
Coach, we have another question from a fan in attendance here. Sir, what's your name? Where are you from?
Fooch from Hoboken, New Jersey.
How we doing, Fooch?
Doing good, Coach. I just would like to hear the Chinese bamboo story. I was pretty impressed by the whole analogy.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't my story. It wasn't my analogy. It was a great one. I've heard it before. But we have a guest speaker every Sunday that comes in and talks to our players about a lot of things, leadership and being a man and just life in general, how to deal with tough situations. And he came in, the speaker came in this last Sunday, and he'd had the speech already planned out. So it wasn't just like, hey, I put it together after you guys lost to Michigan State. He'd put this together a while ago. And, he talked about building a business, building a program, and how long it takes. And he compared it to the Chinese bamboo tree and, how you go out and you plant the seeds and you every day you water it, you fertilize the soil, and you wait, and you do it again over and over and over, and you don't see anything come up out of the ground. But what people don't realize is the roots are growing underground, and they're getting longer, they're getting stronger, and more of them grow. And then finally, I think it's like 5 years, it starts to pop up out of the ground, and you start to see the rewards for everything that you've done to help fertilize the seeds and things. But business and football and sports are very similar. People start up their own business. It takes a lot of time. There's good days, there's bad days until you finally get it going the way you want. And building a program is no different. But the Chinese bamboo tree was a great story and great analogy.
Sounds good to me.
Thank you for your question, young man. We appreciate that. We have another question. This young man I know is a huge Rutgers fan. Raymond is here with his question for Coach.
So
that is a nice jacket.
Which part of the team do you think has improved the most?
The part of the team that has improved the most, until the Indiana game, I would have said our corners and our defensive backs in general. We didn't necessarily finish some of our one-on-one situations that we had in that game, but that's no indicator on the improvement that we've made in the secondary. For me, we want a defense and a coverage that challenges all throws, and I think when you watch us this year, we've been able to do that. We haven't necessarily been always perfect and made every play, but we're challenging throws, and you don't see a lot of mistakes and busted coverages right now, and that's what I like, and I think we can build on that.
Thank you.
Would you agree?
Yes.
What's your most improved area of the team?
I don't know.
Appreciate the question.
He is a huge Rutgers fan. Raymond's
I love that jacket, though.
That is a good-looking jacket. He's got the good stuff, and he knows the style, that's for sure. All right, so, Coach, a couple of the other seniors that wanted to ask you about that we didn't get to earlier. A couple of guys, well, one in particular that I think has really had a terrific year for you, and you described him at the beginning of the you're somebody that just does everything right, and that's Justin Goodwin.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like the other guys, I love Justin. Goody's a tremendous worker. He doesn't say much at all, but he shows up and grinds every day. You know what you're going to get every single day when Goody walks in the Hale Center. You know what you're going to get every single day when he walks out on the practice field. You know what you're going to get away from the Hale Center. Socially, he's going to make good decisions. He's a good teammate. Plays the game the way you want it to be played. And I'm very happy for him on the type of year that he's had. And I get it. We all want more yards and touchdowns and all that, but I just love watching the kid work. And the respect that he's gained from his teammates because of it.
I want to ask you, Coach, when it comes to kind of each coach, has their one person. Is there anyone that's like, that's my guy? Is each coach just have known that, as you said, does everything right, may be similar to you in a lot of different things? Have you figured out, like I said, anybody yet that's, like, that's my guy right there, that's been doing everything I've asked them to do? We relate really well, things like that.
Yeah, it's hard to single out one particular guy. There's several that I would say. A guy that I would have said is my guy, Greg Jones. Love Greg Jones and what he was able to do as a walk-on, a guy that came here as a defensive, as a corner. We moved him to safety, became a starting linebacker. Was a guy that just you talk about an attitude and tremendous effort and love for the game and just wanting to be the best that he could be. Was Greg Jones, and I'm going to miss him. I wish obviously he could have been able to play the season the way he wanted to play the season, and didn't work out. But he's been around every day trying to help Tyreek Williams be a better football player, and I can't thank Greg Jones enough.
It's a Colonia guy, man. We're built tough.
Yeah. We will take a quick time out. We've got a couple more calls to get to. Stay with us. It is the Chris Ash Show live from Quaker Steak and Lube, Route 1 in Edison, Rutgers, and Penn State this coming Saturday night. Hang with us. More in a moment.
Take on any galaxy and take on the mission to enter Rogue One, a Star Wars story, Nissan's Ultimate Access Sweepstakes. You can win a VIP trip for two to see the opening showing at El Capitan Theater in Hollywood. Enter at nissanusa.com/Star Wars Rogue One and visit your local Nissan dealer to see the new 2017 Rogue. Nissan, innovation that excites. No purchase necessary. Ends 11/27/16. Open to residents of the USDC 18 and older. For full details, including odds of winning and limitations on entry and prize, see official rules at nissanusa.com/Star Wars Rogue One.
Need a place to watch all the pro games? Look no further than Quaker Steak and Lube, Best Wings USA on Route 1 in Edison. 50 TVs, great game day specials starting at just $2, and the best wings in the USA with over 25 different wing sauces. Enjoy our outdoor patio and bar that's open all year round, even in the winter. Give us a call, 732-777 Wing. We cater events of any size, dining in or to go. Quaker Steak and Lube, 561 Route 1 in Edison, 732-777 Wing.
The Chris Ash Show returns after this local timeout. This is the Rutgers IMG Sports Network.
This commercial is brought to you by Brother International, the makers of fax, printers, multifunction printers, scanners, sewing and embroidery machines. Brother is always at your side.
You can make business cards with your name, print from hiking, hang and frame, sew some shades, block the sun, keep out creepy peeping toms. With Brother at your side, always good times. You got a brother at your side, and whatever follows always ends up in good times. You can make a basket cover for your cat, another for his brother, so they both match. No more mess, make the best label, all relieve that stress. Brothers always undercover and always around. 106 years, better keep on counting. You got a brother at your side, and whatever follows always ends up in good time. With the brother at your side, with the brother at your side.
The Chris Ash Show continues on the Rutgers IMG Sports Network. Now back to Quaker Steak and Lube in Edison to talk Rutgers football.
Our telephone number, 877-384-1869, 877-384-1869. That's your Nissan call-in line. Let's hit it again. Anthony and Ridgewood up next here on the Chris Ash Show. Anthony, how are you?
Good, guys. How are you?
Good.
What's up, man?
Good. Excellent. Coach, I feel like you just kind of, punched Rutgers fans in the stomach a little bit.
I did what?
It sounds like you're talking a 3-year plan and bamboo trees and things like that. We went to a bowl game 2 years ago.
Well,
I think
I get that. Every year is different, though.
No, I know. I'm just saying, I think if you think we're going to struggle for 3 years, guess what? We're going to struggle.
But I never said that, did I?
No, it's just the bigger picture he's talking about, Anthony, at that point. What was your other question? Okay, we dropped.
No, you're there. Go ahead,
okay.
Anthony.
How's Gio doing? Are we still running a power spread with him or not? I noticed he had 1 carry for 1 yard. And finally, how's Ty doing? Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Anthony.
Thank you, Anthony. Gio's getting better. Gio's been hurt. He pulled a hamstring against Minnesota. He was fairly close to being 100% healthy, and then got hurt in the first quarter of the Michigan State game. Tweaked his knee a little bit, and was limited in that game because of that. He didn't say anything. He just said, "Hey, I'm struggling to run." He didn't tell anybody why until the game was over. So he's a competitor, as a warrior, and wanted to be out on that field, but he was hurting. And I think today, though, watching him at practice, I can't sit here and say he's 100% healthy, but he's pretty close to it. And we'll do what Gio's body allows him to do, and hopefully that's be at 100% and be a dual threat quarterback and help our offense be a balanced offense. And, Tylen, I know you asked about Tylen. Tylen's working to try to get better every day. When Tylen went in the second half of the Michigan State game, did some good things, and we got to continue to just keep bringing him along.
Coach, you have touched on this before, but specifically, you look at your defense, and we mentioned Darius and JPO, but those are, and Anthony, those are really the only seniors you have, though. You've got 8-9 guys who are going to be back and have already been contributors. And it's funny, you mentioned the corners earlier. Those guys that got better this year because they were pressed into action last year. Do you feel that same way with a lot of the younger players that you have right now who have been pressed into action on that defensive side and seeing improvement as the season's gone along?
Yeah, there's a lot of young players, I think, that have contributed on defense this year. Excited about their potential growth as we move forward. But you talk about the numbers. I just look at the Indiana game. I was looking at it when it was over. And I thought we played one of our better games defensively. And, again, we gave up too many pass yards. But that's easily correctable. It's 50-50 balls down the field that we talked about in the past. But when Darius was on the sideline, Chaffee was on the sideline, and JPO was the only senior out there, you got 10 guys returning that were playing a good majority of snaps in that game, and really excited about that. We got to get bigger. We got to get stronger. We've got to continue to learn our scheme and how to play certain positions. Linebacker, we've made a lot of progress. We still have a long way to go. We had 3 guys that had never played linebacker before at the start of the season. Then had some defections at the outside linebacker position, had to play it. 2 freshmen, Tyreek Williams. I'm so excited about Tyreek's future. He really just keeps getting better and better and better. He's banged up like you wouldn't believe right now, but he keeps battling out there. But excited about a lot of those guys coming back.
And when you inherit such a young team like that, how much, does that make you happy knowing that you can develop them into the players that you want them to be? As we were talking about, it was harder to buy Anthony Chaffee, a senior, to buy into the program. But when you get these younger guys now, they heard a little bit, from the other staff, but now you really get to employ what you want on them. What is that like for you as a coach, and how happy does that make you?
Well, it doesn't matter about what staff that coach them or anything. I don't get caught up in any of that. I'm focused on just player development, and regardless of the scheme that we play or anyone else plays, we want guys that are big, fast, and strong, and physical players, and it takes some time to develop that. We've gotten bigger in the last 8 months, 9 months now. We need to get a lot bigger in the next 9 months, and that's going to be their challenge. And that's I talked about you want to look at the negatives of not going to the bowl game. I'm looking at the positives. That gives us more opportunity to develop these guys in December physically to get bigger and stronger. So when we start back up in January, we've got a much better base.
All right, let's take one more time out, and we'll come back. We'll talk a little bit more about the Penn State matchup this coming Saturday night. Hang with us. This is the Chris Ash Show.
Need a place to watch all the pro games? Look no further than Quaker Steak and Lube, Best Wings USA on Route 1 in Edison. 50 TVs, great game day specials starting at just $2, and the best wings in the USA with over 25 different wing sauces. Enjoy our outdoor patio and bar that's open all year round, even in the winter. Give us a call, 732-777-WING. We cater events of any size, dining in or to go. Quaker Steak and Lube, 561 Route 1 in Edison, 732-777-WING.
When you're looking for tickets to that sold-out event, there's only one place to go, TickCity.com, the official secondary ticket partner of Rutgers Athletics. Scarlet Knight fans can save 10% on all orders when you use the discount code Rutgers at checkout. From sporting events to the hottest concerts, Broadway and family shows across the country, all your ticket needs are covered at your fan-friendly ticket source, TickCity.com. That's TickCity.com.
The Chris Ash Show returns after this local timeout. This is the Rutgers IMG Sports Network.
Train smart, play hard. The Scarlet Knights know what it takes to win on the field and off, so they work harder with the help of the high-quality protein of Dual Fuel. Developed in partnership with Rutgers strength and conditioning coaches, Dual Fuel performance bars and shakes provide elite athletes with the fuel they need to power through the toughest workouts. Give your body what it needs to take on the competition with Dual Fuel. Dual Fuel bars and shakes, an official nutrition partner of Rutgers Athletics. Available at campus retailers or at rutgers.dualfuelnutrition.com.
You're a sports fan.
That's me.
A fan who traded in a smartphone and bought a new one on AT&T Next.
Yep.
And with the money you saved, now you can make that reality show about your fantasy team.
Okay, so I got an idea.
Right. Sports fans, get up to $650 in credits per line when you switch to AT&T. Trade in your current phone and buy a new one on AT&T Next. AT&T, mobilizing your world.
Limited time offer. Each line requires eligible port-in, trade-in, purchase, and service. Get minimum of $5 trade-in credit plus prepaid card on amount of device balance or early termination fee, less trade-in fees, charges, and restrictions apply. See store for details.
Final week of the Chris Ash Show here at Quaker Steak and Lube on Route 1 in Edison. And before we get Coach's final thoughts, getting ready for Penn State, we got a few people we got to thank. First of all, the great Rutgers fans, especially the ones, Coach, who have been out here each and every week to support us. They've joined us, and it's been great crowds throughout the course of the year. Thank you, everybody, for coming out and joining us every Wednesday night. It's been fantastic support, and we really appreciate it. Also want to thank everybody who has worked on this show. Our guy John Essick, who is back in our Rutgers IMG Sports Network studios. Our producer and engineer Paul Schrager, along with Colin Osborne from RVision, Jack Zulo, Hasim Phillips, and Jimmy Gill from Rutgers Sports Information, and Tim DeMartin as well from RVision. Those guys did a great job all season long to make sure that we got on the air. We appreciate that. And Quaker Steak and Lube, they do such a fantastic job. Casey and the crew here, we cannot thank you enough for continuing to host us. We had so much fun this year, and great chance to get here throughout the course of the year. If you have not been here, by all means, what are you doing? What are you doing? All right, Coach, you've got Penn State Saturday night. Final thoughts preparing for this game, keys to this game to try to get a victory over Penn State.
I'll start by saying this. It's if you're a college football fan here in the state of New Jersey, why not come to the stadium? Saturday night, Big Ten football.
Yep.
Rival game with Penn State. Senior night to say thank you to a tremendous group of individuals. It's going to be a great football game. Excited about it. It's a challenge. You know, Penn State's playing with a lot of confidence right now. They're top 10 football team in the country. They've gotten better and better, each week, and we're looking forward to that challenge. Really looking forward to trying to help our seniors go out on a positive note, and their playing career here at High Point Solution Stadium with the sellout of Rutgers fans, and great turnout to cheer them on.
This group of seniors absolutely deserves it. Coach, thanks for your generosity of time all season long with us.
Oh, thank you. It's been an awesome first year here on the show, and looking forward to many more.
Absolutely. Eric?
Yeah, Coach, I'm like the other fans, like I said, they want everything now. I'll tell you what, I'm excited for the future and what you're going to build, and I'm just hope I can be a part of it along the way with you guys. So thank you, Coach, and good luck.
You'll always be there, E.
Absolutely. Once again, I want to thank everybody for listening and hanging with us all season long. Rutgers, Penn State, Saturday night, High Point Solution Stadium, 8 o'clock kick. We will see you there. For Eric LeGrand and the coach, Chris Ash, I'm Chris Carlin. Let's finish up the season strong. Thanks again, everybody, for being with us on the Chris Ash Show.
You've been listening to The Chris Ash Show on the Rutgers IMG Sports Network. The Chris Ash Show has been brought to you by Join us throughout the season from Quaker Steak and Lube on US 1 in Edison to hear from the head football coach of the Scarlet Knights. The Chris Ash Show is an exclusive presentation of IMG, America's home for college sports.